Hello and welcome to Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. We are your hosts, Vidas
and Ausra.
We've been mastering secrets of organ playing for more than 20 years and sharing them on this blog since 2011.
On this show, which we create from our home in Vilnius, Lithuania, we strive to help you grow in every area of organ playing, including practice, technique, repertoire, sight reading, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory, harmony, and many others.
Our hope is to help you become a complete musician, or what we call as total organist, a program which we have created to help you reach your dreams faster than you would do on your own.
If you are new here, we invite you to subscribe to receive free updates of this blog at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
And now let's go to the podcast for today. Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Ausra.
Let's start episode 290 of Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. And this question was sent by Danielle. She writes, Dear Vidas and Ausra, I was an organ major as an undergraduate, but he had no background in harmony or scales. So even though I could learn organ literature, play for church services and accompany choirs on organ, I could never improvise because I had no mental shortcuts. Knowing what key the piece had modulated to, the learning process was extremely arduous, and I stopped playing as soon as I could and switched to choral conducting. The stress of preparing for weekly church services was just too great. Fast forward 25 years, and now I am subbing an organ for Catholic masses and sometimes cantoring simultaneously. Thanks to some Dalcroze training, I can now entertain the possibility of improvising. But I'm finding it to be more challenging to improvise on organ versus improvising on piano for children's music classes. So my dreams are to be able to improvise postludes and to be able to reharmonize the final verse of congregational hymns to add a few juicy twists. I see these goals as interrelated. The three things most holding me back are a lack of understanding of harmony, a lack of handy chord progressions to lean upon, and a lack of an organized approach to tackle these tasks. Thank you so much for your daily emails. They're very encouraging. Danielle in New York. That's a lofty goal, right, Ausra?
Yes, it is.
But well worth pursuing, I would say.
Yes, especially if you want to learn to improvise, you have to know something about music theory and harmony, of course.
Mm-hmm. And I can imagine that if you are limited to just a few chords that you know and basically playing from sheet music, you get quite frustrated if you can't really prepare in advance those hymns and preludes on time for church services. And if you're not good for sight reading, then it's so challenging that people might quit. And she did, I think, many years ago.
But it's nice that Danielle came back to the organ after so many years.
Mm-hmm. Maybe she had this inner desire, regardless of her limitations, which is nice. So this desire, this inner motivation will keep her moving forward, even though the practice might not be as pleasant as it seems.
Yes, and sometimes I think how much my students at school are ungrateful for what we are getting there, because we don't have that understanding what other people around the world are missing. that it's so important, for a musician to receive early training in music theory, harmony.
The reason your kids are not grateful, I think some of them shouldn't even be there, right? They're not planning to be musicians, I think, some of them. Or they just want to play their instrument and they don't even realize what kind of life is ahead of them.
True, but some who, later become professional musicians, we feel, I think, grateful for what we learned.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too bad, that sometimes in our school the theory is so much unrelated to the practice.
Practice, you mean?
To practice, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those 8-measure exercises are very good, and they're limited in scope. Each exercise has their own, chords and limitations, and the students will know what to put inside of those 8 measures or 2 sentences, where the cadence is, right? At the end of 4 measures and at the end of the 8 measures too. Sometimes you have extension, right? Maybe 10 or 12 measures, but that's about it.
Yes, and now when thinking about Danielle, I think she should learn or take a look at our course of harmony for the beginners.
Mm-hmm. Basically, to look at variety of courses we offer under category of harmony and music theory as well, because before attempting to learn harmony, you should know chords, basic chords.
Yes, and of course, keys. As she Danielle wrote scales. I think she probably meant keys.
Circle of
fifths.
With all accidentals.
It's it's sort of cornerstone for music theory.
So that's why we created this basic chord workshop, which tackles the main 3-note or 4-note chords and even 5-note, 9th chord as well at the end, but in closed position. So if it's a tonic chord, it's in C major would be C, E, G in 3 notes, not in soprano, alto, tenor and bass layout as in harmony would be. But that's another step. After this first course, then Danielle would be ready to go to organist, harmony for organist level 1, I think.
Yes, and then after that, I think it will be time for her to play some sequences and some cadences and some modulations from my YouTube videos.
But before that, she could play the same sequences, but in closed position with one hand, not with 2 hands, but basically internalize the chords from basic chord workshop, and that would help her to really get to know those chords and get to know all the keys through those chords.
Yes, and of course, in addition to this, when she would, master those courses, she would have to analyze some pieces of music that she are playing or she have played in the past. And then she would get a notion how the pieces put together.
Right, so basically pick a favorite piece that you're playing either right now or in the past or maybe in the future you're planning to do, and then look for those chords that you know. At first maybe simple chords, tonic, subdominant, dominant, and their inversions, first inversion, second inversion, and once in a while you will notice them. Not always, but sometimes the keys will be simple enough that you will start noticing those things.
Yes, and analyze hymns that you are playing for church.
Oh, that would be
and
even
then
better.
You could, start by doing simple improvisation, maybe on a hymn tune, on those chords that are given to you.
Right.
Add some figurations.
So you don't need to master the entire course of harmony before starting to improvise, right?
True. I think it should come together, side by side.
Yes. If we just think about it for a second, playing sequences is already sort of limited improvisation, right? Because you only have one chord with maybe resolution, and then you have some rules how to go about in ascending motion or descending motion, and then you improvise the rest of the sequence too. This is basically the most easiest way and the sort of applying those chords in practice.
That's right.
And then you can expand a little bit, right? Try to harmonize your hymns, but that's a little bit later probably.
Yes, I think so.
Or if you want to do it earlier, you could play with 2 voices, not with 4 voices, adding the bass to the soprano line. That would work?
Yes, I think so. It should work.
Okay, so I think we have laid out a plan for you for the next at least 3 months or so. Could be longer. But if you practice every day diligently, after a few weeks you will start noticing real decent progress, and that will keep you moving.
Yes.
Thank you guys for listening, for sending those thoughtful questions. Please continue to do so. We love helping you grow. And remember, when you practice,
Miracles happen.
This blog is supported by Total Organist, the most comprehensive organ training program online, where you will find courses for every area of organ playing, including technique, practice, sight reading, repertoire playing, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory, and harmony, with hundreds of scores and thousands of exercises. Here is what some of the students are saying.
Hugh writes, the sight reading course has helped me tremendously. Thank you very much for your essays, courses, and all your help.
Robert writes, I found the fingerings, registration ideas, and general comments to be excellent.
John writes, I have found your download very helpful. It was really excellent. I have watched some of your teaching videos, and when I read your instructions, I tried to imagine you are there teaching me. You may feel disappointed that I am 2-3 days behind, but I am a slow learner, and I have committed to taking the time to get it right, as you say. But the other night my wife commented that she had never heard me play such a detailed melody in the left hand so well. My left hand is generally poor.
Robert writes, it has been a great pleasure in my life of having discovered your courses and material as well as the YouTube work of recordings. You have a calm and pleasant way of teaching.
Ron writes, Hi Vidas and Ausra, thank you guys. What a wonderful response to my email note to you. You've got me right, and I feel you understand my level of playing. Yes, at home, and lucky that I have an organ for that reason. I am paying attention to this, and I am going to try this haha no longer secret model. Yes, and I love Cesar Frank too. What is very nice about your blog podcast is that Ausra and Vidas are like a Socratic dialogue, and by bouncing things off of each other, so much more information comes out and is expressed. Your comments contain a wealth of information and understanding. I really appreciate this. It is very inspiring and will keep us moving forward.
Would you like to receive the same or even better results that our students are getting? If so, join them at organduo.lt/total-organist. And of course, you will get the first month free too. You can cancel anytime.
Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to receive free updates of this blog, make sure you do that at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video, how to master any organ composition, and 10-day organ playing mini course.
This was Vidas
and Ausra. from secrets of organ playing.
And remember, when you practice,
Miracles happen.